Yeah. And that was kind of the last category, the non-bulge algo guys, the Virtus, the Citadels, the Jumps, the Janes, those guys. Do you see them? It sounds like you see them benefiting.
Yeah, but I'd expand that category. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that the ones that you're throwing out there, in terms of people that we want to really partner with, there's there's a lot of sort of history there. I think if I went here to my board and said, we're going to take a high frequency trading firm and that's going to be, they're going to be responsible for X percentage of our electronic business, when we know that they also have a robust market making business on top of that may be tricky. Mm-hmm. I don't think it doesn't mean we don't or wouldn't ever engage with those people. I think that the thought that those specifically, I think there's, we've seen people like Clearpool come and have a lot of traction in a relatively short period of time. Mm-hmm. And there could be, I've met with a number of other firms that are much more just technology focused, as opposed to people who are taking technologies that inform their market making business and trying to then sell them as an agency business.
Interesting. So interesting. So you do see an increasing role for kind of like a more technology-led agency broker that may not necessarily be like a market maker / prop trader, as probably.
I just think this is me just thinking. It's not.
Yeah, no, that's.
It doesn't actively inform anything that we're doing today.
No, I
can just see where there's a potential for people to build better mousetraps and put them in front of us. I just see that there's a technology. It's not obvious to me necessarily, and I know that they're working towards. All of them are working towards this. It isn't necessarily obvious to me that the bulge bracket firm builds the most innovative algo strategy.
Right. Yeah.
And that's all I'm trying to sort of allow for, that there's, I think that there's every possibility that once it's built, they go try and buy it, but it's just not necessarily that that's where it gets developed.
I would agree with that as well. The bigger guys, while they have large infrastructures and a lot of people and they can afford to do stuff, they tend not to be agile or flexible, or as flexible.
Yeah, the only counter argument, and I'm going to undermine everything I just said, is that the one counter argument to that is that if people look to, as you start to think about AI or machine learning or things like that, those strategies are dependent on copious amounts of data,
right,
to inform that learning. Mm-hmm. And so at some level, scale benefits that.
Right.
So,
right. Interesting. So, you're talking about kind of we were talking a little bit about, the Virtus and the Citadels, but are you worried about the Virtu ITG acquisition? Will this impact kind of your TCA or blotter scraping or EMS?
I mean, worried, I wouldn't characterize it as worried. Mm-hmm. I think, we're aware, and we will, we'll evaluate. Mm-hmm. I find it sort of ironic, given everything that's happened in the industry over the last several years in terms of places where we've had, pretty substantial breaches of trust. So all of a sudden, Tag Virtu is like the most
that's true. They got slapped by the regulators a couple of times themselves. So
right, that's what I mean. Like it's sort of, I don't know.
It's upside down world.
All of a sudden.
It's upside down world. All the people you're supposed to trust have not been trustworthy, and all the people that you're supposed to not trust seem to be more trustworthy.
I mean, and it's so far. I mean, it's another shoe to drop, but I just don't. You know, I think that there's some biases there that are informing the decisions. So the answer is, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, it raises eyebrows, and it's something that we look into, but it's not of a level where it's a deal breaker, right, by any means.
Yeah. So moving towards the algo side, do you anticipate reducing your algo brokers or increasing your algo brokers in 19?
The simple answer is I doubt we'll see. You know, there won't be a substantial change. I mean, if there's rotation within who we provide, that could be a possibility, but it's not something we're looking to contract or expand.
Okay. Are you implementing an algo wheel? And if so, whose?
No, we're not.
Okay. Have you looked into kind of some of the machine learning algos?
The simple answer is yes. The machine learning that has been presented to me has been primarily focused around strategies that we don't use a ton. We're not big users of VWAP algos, for example.
Right. Okay. On the measurement side, you know, are you changing how you measure and doing a little bit more in depth, and is that changing kind of your workflow and kind of who's doing some of the innovative stuff there?
So we have a internal quant team who does a lot of proprietary research on our algo strategies that does inform the usage by our traders.
Are you doing anything on the prop algo side? Are you developing your own?
So, I mean, when you say that, I mean, what does that mean exactly? I mean, we partner with our brokers, and you know, our algos can at times have customization.
Right.
We don't tend to. And this goes back to the data part that I laid out there. I mean, we can look at what we do, but we're not the most active traders in the world. So, I think that we've generally felt like the brokers are better equipped because of their ability to measure vast amounts of data versus what we have over time to make routing decisions, and then we will measure performance on the basis of that and make decisions.
Yeah. I think we're looking at kind of, when you talk about prop, I mean like starting from scratch and developing your own algos and kind of using the broker pipes as just DMA. So I guess in that question.
We're not. Yeah, we're not there.
Right. You know, block stuff, tech. Let's move over to tech. What are the top kind of 3 tech things for the firm, and then what's kind of your top tech thing for the desk? So.
Yeah, I mean the data analysis that we're doing is continuing to be an ongoing project. So I don't even know if that qualifies as tech. But I guess the other, you know, we continue to, you know, as the market's gotten electronic, we continue to develop over time, you know, tools for the traders to better be able to monitor how their executions are going. And then the last part is we are working towards, and again, it's an evolution, but we have an increasing amount of sort of rebalance, basically smaller trades and things, looking at ways to better improve that workflow. I mean, I guess it falls under the category of sort of automation, but we're not. It's more about improving workflow on orders where there's little to no value add for traders.
Right. So pulling them out of flow, just bundling them up, you know, figuring out how to route them and manage them and measure them, and interesting.
I mean, that's what you're just finding. I mean, we have our large fund orders, and then we have sort of orders
Right.